Good morning and welcome to Travels with Monkey Boy. Today we are on day 3 of our long weekend to Phuket in Thailand. Today's journey was to the Similan Islands, group of 11 islands to the northwest of Phuket. What's nice is that the Similan Islands are part of a national park, so there are no permanent settlements on the islands. There are a few camping spots and a handful of bungalows on a couple of the island, but that's it. What's also nice is that the islands are closed 6 months of the year to tourists. What's not so nice is that they're closed for 6 months because tourism is so heavy in the other months that it puts a strain on the ecosystem. I've come to greatly dislike the tourist mobs, and I think the final stages of my traveling life will be seeking out those places that the mobs have yet to find. If you're new to this world, by all means follow the mobs, as there is a reason why something becomes staggeringly popular. Just understand the costs. Today's trip was on a far less fancy boat than yesterday's yacht, basically like a floating school bus with rows of seats crammed together. The boat was fast and sat low to the water, and in spite of it saying that the boat was fine for people with back problems, I was worried about my poor wife. She did fine. Like the previous day, there were 4 stops. The first one, the first island they dumped us on was for swimming and hiking if we liked. Let me just say, I was shocked at this island beach. See, it was filled with large granite boulders, and all my research said that these boulders were only in the Seychelles. In reality, the beach looked very much like the Seychelles. Okay, much smaller, but it was beautiful. With further research, I found that there are, in fact, a number of coastal islands with granite formations like this. It's not hard to be a granite island as long as you're very near the continent. These kind of islands are really just hills whose base got flooded when the glaciers melted. Seychelles, which are different, are mid-ocean, thousands of miles from any continent. And if you read my Seychelles story or watched the video at my YouTube channel, you know of the weird geology of the Seychelles. Still, pristine beaches, turquoise water, and huge granite stones make about as lovely a setting to sit for an hour as you could find, and lots easier to get to than the Seychelles. Our second stop was a fairly lame snorkeling spot. Our boat was 95% Chinese tourists, and they weren't really into the snorkeling. Some gave it a shot, but mostly with life jackets on and huddled in a bunch. This was actually good for us as it allowed us to snorkel on our own. I say it was lame as they had us stop in about 50 feet of water. There were fish here, but you really need a good reef where you could float right above the fish for great snorkeling. When the bottom is 50 feet away, you have to concentrate more on floating, and you just don't get a nice view of the fish. What was cool was that as we swam closer to the island we were anchored off of, you could see the granite boulders all the way to the bottom. Getting close was a bit dangerous as the waves close to the shore were strong, but watching the waves hit the granite from underwater created a ballet of bubbles. Our third spot was the best. It was a nice location above a very interesting coral formation. It was about 10 feet, as you can see behind me. It was about 10 feet above the coral, so much better fish numbers and interaction, though I think ideal is maybe 5 feet above. I wouldn't say it was in the top 30 snorkeling spots I've been to, but nice. Schools of fish with some variety. With all the talk of the Andaman Sea and its life, well, it was just mid. The final spot was a standard beach where they served us lunch. The island was full of fruit bats sleeping high up in the trees, which is always magical to me. It also had maybe half a dozen bungalows that looked like you could rent and would seem to be a pretty cool place to spend a few days, but there was no sign of anyone actually staying there. Danielle found herself a nice spot on the beach and got to sleep in the sun for an hour afterwards. I swam in the water for that time and explored the jungle a little bit. The boat ride back had us pass a beach with some monkeys on it. I love monkeys as much as fruit bats, so I was pleased. But in the end, the day was just fair. Each spot was maybe a B. where the previous day had several A stops. The biggest difference, though, was the boats. Professional traveler tip here, better to spend the day in a yacht than be crammed in a floating school bus. Okay, that's the story for today. Let me quickly show you the map. Okay, here we are. In the previous day, here we are in, let me get you the broad view again real quick. Here, for those of you who don't know, the odd shape of Thailand with Burma hugging next to it, sort of spooning it. Yesterday we did the bay, and today we were out with the Similan Islands. This is the Andaman Sea. And you keep going west and you bump into the Bay of Bengal. Okay, and a few pictures from the day. So this is Sailor's Rock, if you could see. If any of you have been to Seychelles or have watched my video, this is exactly what it looks like. It's quite beautiful. So here's Sailor's Rock with a mermaid in the foreground. Life was all around us. Here's the mermaid underwater. And vast schools of fish. It's always fun. No better way to interact with nature than to snorkel. Didn't see any turtles or big life on this one though. But lots and lots of fish. And it was really an odd coral formation that they had here. I'm not sure that it's been like any other that I've seen. Just vast fields of this sort of variegated plant-like coral. There's Granite Beach at our lunch stop. I love this woman. And that's it. That's all I have for today. Thanks for coming and tuning in tomorrow.